All the judges ready? And the timer. Once, in fair Verona, there lived two families who had fought for so long no one could remember why their quarrel first began. Now whenever the Montagues and the Capulets met in the streets, a battle was sure to follow. William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, retold by Bruce Coville. He was in love. Alas, the one he loved
did not love him back.
Love is a smoke, made of the fume of sighs. A madness, most discreet. A choking gall. I am shut up in prison, whipped and tormented. I am peace.
There's to be a feast tonight at the home of the Capulets. Let us go mask and make a merry time of it. Rosaline, whom you love, but another by will be there.
I will go, but only for the chance to gaze upon fair Rosaline.
As the hour for the party drew near, Lady Capulet went to speak with her daughter, a fair maid named Juliet.
Tell me, daughter, how stands your disposition to be married? It's an honor I dream not of. Well, think on it now, for I come with great news. The gallant Count Paris seeks you for his love.
Oh, such a man, a very flower of manhood.
Hush, Ness. What say you, Juliet? Can you love this gentleman? Tonight, you shall see him at our feast. Read over the volume of his face and see what's written there. I'll study with care.
The barest hint of moonlight dusted Verona's streets as Romeo
and Mercutio headed for the party. There, as Romeo searched among the dancing ladies for a sight of Rosaline, his eye fell instead on Juliet.
Oh, she doth teach the torches to burn bright. Beauty too rich for use, earth too dear. The fierce Tybalt stood nearby and recognized Romeo's voice.
How dare a Montague intrude on this gathering? By the stock and honor of my kin to strike him dead, I hold it not a sin.
Here in my house, we'll have no quarrel this night. Now go, boy.
I leave, but I do not forget.
Romeo, still in his trance, approached Juliet as he held out his hand to dance.
Ooh.
Alas, the moment was broken by Juliet's nurse.
Madam, your mother craves a word with you.
Who is her mother?
The lady of the house.
A Capulet? I've given my heart to mine enemy.
Romeo slipped away from his friends as they left the party. He climbed the wall of old Capulet's orchard. He stood outside the house, a window open.
What light from yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet's the sun.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, 'tis but thy name that is my enemy. What's in the name? That let me call the rose by any other word would smell as sweet. Discard thy name, which is no part of thee, and in return take all myself.
I take thee at thy word. Call me but love, and henceforth I never will be Romeo.
Art thou not Romeo and a Montague?
Neither, fair maid, if either thee dislike.
If my kinsmen see thee, they will murder thee.
Alack, there lies more peril in thine eye than in 20 of their swords.
Oh.
All too soon, the nurse called out for
Juliet!
I must go now. Oh, good night, parting in such sweet sorrow.
At dawn, Romeo went to seek Friar Lawrence.
Romeo, why are you up so early? Or have you not yet been to bed this night?
Oh, it's true. I've been feasting with my enemy, where I met one whom I love, more than all the earth.
What of Rosaline?
Rosaline! It's nothing to me. Juliet is all my love. But yet, she loves me back. Will you marry us?
I will help you in this cause for one reason. By this marriage, we shall put an end to the war between your houses.
And so it was said. Romeo and Juliet met with Friar Lawrence, who performed the holy ceremony in secret. Shh.
As Romeo started home through the afternoon heat, he found his friend fending off a quarrel with Tybalt.
When the young hot blood spotted Romeo, he cried out,
There you are, you villain!
I am no villain. Oh, my old submission,
groaned Mercutio.
Tybalt, you rat catcher, will you try your hand with me? Sing!
The hurt cannot be much.
No, 'tis not so deep as a well, nor as wide as a church door, but 'tis enough. 'Twould serve a plague on both your houses. You'd made wounds meat of me.
Wild with rage, Romeo leapt to his feet.
Now, Tybalt, take back the villain the late you gave me. Mercutio's soul is but a little way above our heads. Either thou or I must join him. Sing!
A crowd was already gathering as Romeo fled. When Prince Escalus arrived and saw the day's bloody work, he was furious.
Romeo slew Tybalt. Tybalt slew Mercutio. For this, I banish Romeo. If he is again seen in Verona, that hour shall be his last.
Friar Lawrence, and there learned of the prince's sentence.
Your wife awaits. Fly to her side.
Friar Lawrence was not the only one planning to send a husband to Juliet. Lord Capulet set the date for Juliet to marry Paris that very week.
I have good news to wash away the sorrow of Tybalt's death. Oh, in but a few days' time, Count Paris shall make you a joyful bride. He shall not.
Oh, here comes your father. Tell him so yourself. Juliet threw herself at her father's feet to plead with him, but he was enraged by her refusal of the fine match he had arranged. Beg, starve, die in the streets. If you don't make this match, you're no daughter of mine. Juliet hurried off to seek Friar Lawrence. I can see no way to prevent this wedding.
Then know this too. This hand you did join to Romeo's by the same hand I'll end my life before I wed another.
Go home and consent to marry Paris. But the night before your wedding, drink you of this vial. Come morning, you'll be cold and still as if dead, and all will mourn. I, meanwhile, will send word to Romeo telling him everything. When you awake in your family's tomb, he will be with you to take you to Mantua, so we can set all to rights. On the night of her wedding, Juliet paced her room, staring at the potion. Evil visions clouded her mind, yet the thought of marrying Paris was even worse. She raised the potion to her lips.
Romeo, I drink to thee.
In Mantua, Romeo waited eagerly for any word from Friar Lawrence, but no letter had arrived when his manservant came galloping in with the news of Juliet's death. He purchased a swift-acting poison. Clutching it as if it were salvation, Romeo set out for Verona. Moonlight cast eerie shadows over the grave of the Capulets. He went to Juliet's side.
Oh, my love, my wife, I will stay with thee, and never from this palace of dim night depart again. Eyes, look your last. Arms, take your last embrace.
He raised the poison to his lips.
Though Romeo's poison was true, Juliet's was not. She began to stir. Alone in the tomb, numb with grief, Juliet gazed at Romeo. Seeing the poison at his side, she gently took it.
Drunk all, and left no friendly drop to help me follow.
Outside came the sounds of watchmen, drawing closer.
A noise, and I'll be brief.
Drawing Romeo's dagger, she pressed it to her chest.
Oh, happy dagger, this is thy sheath. There rest, and let me die.
A dreadful silence descended the tomb, and broke only when the watchman arrived and set up a cry throughout all the As dawn began to paint the sky, mourners gathered at the tomb of the Capulets, where Friar Lawrence untangled the sad tale for all to hear. With their lives so needlessly lost to their families' hatreds, the young lovers had at least brought peace.
Capulet
And Montague, united by grief, pledged an end to the feud.
Good job. Good job.